Okay, so I am going to be doing the calendar series. So it's Sunday. Sundays are calendar planning days. I learned from Pace Morby, who learned from Dan Martell about calendar and really just plotting out all the things. Like for people who have a lot of projects, a lot of businesses, a lot of things to remember, it's a great way to keep your things out of your head and into a calendar, but also I kind of mix and meld. So I'm going to show you how I do it. And I usually am on track the first 4 days of the week, and then things start to get wonky and I kind of drag things forward. But I want to just explain kind of how it works. So I'm going to show you, and we'll just do it together. You may find it fascinating. You may want to speed through, and afterwards, I'll have some chapters where you can fast forward and hopefully it'll make sense to you. But I'll go through the steps. Okay, before I share screen. So what I normally do is I come to my candy store by myself. I like it when nobody can talk to me. Sometimes I put on music. I'll probably put some on while I'm working, or I'll listen to a podcast or something I've been wanting to listen to, but it's kind of like engaging that second part of my brain so I can focus on this. Some people need, so when I used to homeschool, one of the things they said for some kids, my kids have a tendency for ADHD. Their dad was very, very high ADHD, which is a superpower, really. But music in the background, it occupied this one track of your brain. You can do research on it, but one track, and it just kind of occupied it enough so they could focus on this other thing. It was kind of like that automatic piece. You know how when you drive home, sometimes you don't remember how you got there. You're just in that, but you're thinking about other things. And that it's because that part of your brain is just on autopilot. And music can be like that for you. It just kind of soothes. Some people used to even do like white noise or the washing machine or the dryer, right? There's some piece of that where you engage part that it's occupied, that you can really access the secondary part to focus. And so that's kind of how I do it. I also like to, five birds, one stone. Okay. So the way that I do it is number one, I get myself a coffee. I get to work where nobody is. So I don't open till noon. So, well, I don't open, but I mean, the store's not open. So that gives me usually 3 or 4 hours alone. Nobody bothering me, and it allows me to get into flow without interruptions. Like I don't pick up my phone. I'm not usually answering calls because the minute you answer that call, you have to get back into it, and it's hard. Okay, so that's number one. So find yourself a place where nobody's going to bother you. Put your phone on silent, which I'm going to do right now since I'm recording. There we go, silent. So it doesn't ring. Okay. And I'm going to put on a little music in the background for me. It's like my favorite track. I don't know why. Shout out to Blackberry Smoke. I love you. All right. So that's number one. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to turn it down so that hopefully it's not distracting. Okay. So then I get to my desk, and usually I clear my desk. So I don't know if you can see. Let me kind of tilt, right? I kind of cleared off my desk. I have a lot going on in here. This is my little office because I'm in North Carolina. I don't have a home here. I have an RV. There's not a lot of room. So this is my office, and I spend a lot of time here. Even though I don't work the candy store, I'm here a lot. Okay. So I get to my desk, I clear it so I'm not distracted. I move stuff around, I go to the bathroom, I do all the things so I can focus. All right, so here I am. Now we're 4 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to it yet. Okay, so step number one is I just brain dump. Now you can do this in a lot of different ways. I do it either, I built a GPT or a project in ChatGPT where I can just, when I think of things, I dump it. I also like to write down a list. Everything I'm thinking. And these are big projects, little stupid things I have to remember. So that's step number one, is just to get it. And as you move through it, you do it and you move on to whatever the next step is, you're going to think of other things and then you can go in there. Okay. So that's number one, is just brain dump all the things you want to do, all the things you've thought about doing, all the things that you got halfway through, but you need to finish, whatever it is, but get it out of your head and document it, because then you'll have things to cross out as you put them on the calendar. And some people might use a notepad for this, a voice journal, however you want to do it. And so, sorry, I just got distracted right there. Okay. So anyway, so that's number one. Number 2 is I take this and then I take a look at my calendar. So I'm going to show you my calendar. Everybody's calendar is going to be different. Let me share this, and we're going to share the screen, and I'll show you kind of how I have mine set up. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so this was, so let me save this so I can, yep, just for this event. Yep, okay. So this is my calendar. Now, some people might find this to be a little overwhelming. This is this week. I haven't quite built it out yet, but I do love Google. These are all, so I'm in Owners Club, so this is it. So I can take this and it'll remove it from here, okay? On Flipper, we're going to remove that. Okay, so this is my stuff. These are my calendars. These are my non-negotiables. Like I get up, like today, I've got scheduled the week, okay? Church, probably not going to make it to church today. And then I have some other like content. I have my podcasts in here. They actually are not all in here. Any family stuff, money making, the candy store stuff, non-negotiables, recurring calls. Now, again, recurring calls are in here because I usually attend these. You can always uncheck it if you want to adjust. Do you see how that moves everything? And then I also have my tasks. Now, my tasks are here on the side. And if I don't have a particular place for a task, what I do is I put it in here. So let me just show you how I do. So basically, I go back through, I double check myself. Like I signed up for this dang thing. It's called Reclaim, and I don't like it. And so it keeps recreating everything. Good, it removed it. Like I didn't like it. I like to be able to do it myself. And so I'm going to delete all those things, but do you see them all in here? It's annoying. Okay, so be careful what you allow access. I've canceled this and yet it's still here. So anyway, okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking at. First, this is like, I'm trying to get myself to do no work. I usually honestly wake up at 3 or 4. I usually get up, pray, do that kind of stuff, and then I usually go back to bed until about 6. Sometimes I get up at 6, go take a walk, finish my prayers, and then I'm usually kind of ready to go by 7-ish during the week. And that's why I have my drive time in the window here. So this is the week. I drive to my office. It does take time, but I take that time to kind of think through things, do some more praying, listen to a book, a podcast, or whatever, or plan my day, because I like having the quiet time versus where I'm staying, right? But there are times where I'll just stay where I am and work because I want that hour to do other things. So, but that's in here as that. So let me get rid of this one, delete this one. Hopefully it will let me. Good. Okay, I like to kind of clean it up first before I start. And so like here's Gavin call. So I call my husband every morning, or he calls me since he's in New Hampshire and I'm here, just to kind of connect before I get going with the day. So that's in here. Those are my non-negotiables. Morning work, don't do anything else first. So like when I get up in the morning, right, I have like some things about manifesting, things about like thinking about. I have a whole list of things that I do. Anyway, but it's here to remind me. I don't have to come in here and do it, but I like that it's here. It's a place to put it, not in my brain. Okay, so that's the calendar series here. And then I've got some things that are going on today. So here's my schedule for the week. Let's look at it. Did I even do anything? Nope, I haven't written anything. So basically, what I'm telling you is there. Clear the desk. We get comfortable. Turn off phone, right? Put on music or podcast or a course or a book or something. That's what I do. Okay. Brain dump. However you choose to do it. I do it with paper. You can do it however you want. Then I clean up my calendar, right? Adjust what have I done, what I have not done. I also am going to review the week, right? Review last week and bring things forward. If I didn't get to them and I didn't drag them forward, now's the time so I don't have to do it again. Drag forward. Okay. So that's that part. So let's save that for right now. These are our steps. And I like to bring it forward. Every week, this is going to be my little list, right? So we're going to go back a week. I like looking at the week. Okay. So this is last week. So I'm just going to see, here's all these dumb things. Make me crazy. All right. So here's this one. Let's get rid of that junk. Yes, and all the following. Yes, please get rid of them all. Let's see if it will let me do all events. No, let's see. Delete all events. Let's see if it will remove them all. Wouldn't that be amazing? Nope. Dang it. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to spend time doing this, but okay. So this is all the stuff that I did. So I just kind of go back the week since I do this every week. I go back. So I went through my tasks. What did I do? What did I not do? And where are we? Some of these are really old. Some of them are not. Okay. So I'm going to close this so it's not distracting. Here are my days. Okay. So day one, right? Plan day. This was my leads. I've been doing this. And actually, we're going to do this. We're going to make it every day because we have been doing it every day. So we're going to make that every day. I have been doing that every day and I've been posting about it. Okay. So that one I'm going to update and just say, search Zillow, right? Find anything. There's a bug. Share with partners what I found. Do a drive-by, schedule anything I need to do, calls or the deal. Like I have a wholesaler that was actually running a call for me yesterday. I was a for sale by owner, but when I drove by, it was not where it says it was, right? The pin was wrong. So anyway, and just really the goal is to have a co-living property under contract by Monterey, which is, I have a trip in 2 weeks or a week with partners. Like you got to start. So I'm just starting the pipeline, right? Starting to talk to wholesalers, trying to vet some deals, looking at different types of deals. Some things come back around. So one of the ones I'm really interested came back on the market, 25 grand cheaper. So, following up on all that. So that one, I say it's daily. Yes, it is. And there we go. So we're going to say that for everything. And then boom, that moves it through. Reminds me every day. You also can get in there. And where did it go? Where'd it go? Did I miss it? What happened? See, nothing's perfect. Where did I just do that one? Let me see. Here it is. Okay. It went this way forward. But also, you can also give yourself an alert, which I do. So I do 30 minutes before to remind me just to wrap it up. Okay. So anyways, you see that. So go backwards and let's take a look. So I went through my tasks and updated check marks. I love the check marks in tasks. I'll show you that after. But that's all your tasks here. So you can uncheck that to remove them. But those are things that you're like, okay, automation, my to-do list, schedule home base. I did that. Yes, I did. So right next day, daily routine, leads, plan the day. Yes, I did. Personal time. I did this course. Yes, but I actually have to review. So I'm going to actually make a note, rewatch the things I missed. Talent Flipper. So I was a part of a course for almost 2 weeks. It was a lot of work, but it was about AI and about how to fold it into your business and also offer those services. And so basically that was every day. You can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here. So like it was in a lot of places. And it's probably, this was it, I think. There it was. And there were bonus days. So anyway, long story short, I did that last week, but there are some that I want to re-watch. So then we are so that was Monday. Let's just double check myself. You see how I put check marks? So content, I didn't work on. I did check the ads. I checked the stats, a different day. Shipping ready, that's every Tuesday. And I usually do a check-in about what do we need to order while I'm building out my inventory system. The ice cream machine has to be cleaned every week, so I have to orchestrate that, hiring, and a weekly update. So I did all those things, but that carries through every week. So that's fine. On Mondays, we check in with Fix This First, which is my podcast. So I did do that last week. Review. Let's see. Review and replenish office supplies. I have this as a recurring. I didn't do it, but I don't think we need it. Let's see. So pod match. Here we are. Okay. So we also, and you go down, see, these are some of my other things. Some of these are duplicates because I have different calendars. So one of the things like the elephant challenge is here. I have a land call. I haven't been attending it. It's on here to remind me. I'm paying for it. Will I do it? I'm not sure. We host a Monday night, Carolina's Creative, which is our local real estate meetup. So we host that every Monday. So that's on there. So yes, I did. So I go to the next day. So basically you're just going to go back through and figure out, did you do the things you said you were going to do? And if you didn't do any of them, you can drag it forward. So you see all these things, speaker application call. I did that. So, and I have that gave me more homework. So there we are. There we are. Okay. So I think we're pretty good. I think I did a lot of the things. And if not, they're written down for me. So, okay, we can go to the next week. So that's it. So you want to review, right? Review, how did you do? If there are things you really need to bring it forward and focus on, you're going to do that. So you're going to bring it forward to this week. So here we are. These are my non-negotiables. Here are my regular things. So now from my list, I've got my list, right, that I did the brain dump for. Everything that's going to be Life is Sweet, which is my candy store, I'm going to add here. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go through my list. We're going to go and we're going to add stuff. That way, when I have that block, I can pick and choose what I want without having it be there 100 times. Now, if there's something that's mandatory, we're going to highlight that. Design store layout is on my list because I'm opening 2 locations. So that now, that's the aesthetics, that's the research. I did some of that last night. And so we're going to do that. We're going to apply for the permit, okay, for both locations, okay? We're going to make sure that's in process. I've been calling them, but we're going to make sure that's on there, again, to remind me. Let's see. I also have the COO proposal. So I've been interviewing a COO for the candy store now that we have our investor funds to hire fractional to help me. I could probably figure it out, but I want to really go fast and I want somebody who's way more experienced than me at just operations to help me document and pull it forward. So I'm interviewing, but part of my job will be laying out what does the project look like? What are the tasks I want her to do? Because you're going to hire somebody and you're going to hire somebody very high level. You got to tell them what you want them to do, how much or little. And again, it's a new relationship, so she may not know me and she may not know Tracy shorthand. We all have it, right? So the other thing I'm going to be doing is the Life is Sweet bot, which is a training. So I'm going to combine the training from everything that I have, put all of that into a GPT. And so that way, actually, I should call it GPT instead of. So that way it knows. So if all my staff can ask a question, it will answer without it asking me. It's like putting all my brain in there plus some secondary information. So that's good. Done. Mary proposal. What is my plan? So I have to build out my big plan to roll out all these stores and the co-brands. And so from a 30,000 foot, what does that look like? And then number 2, I'm going to use chat for this, but it will pull down and really go granular, everything step by step by step. So that way, and I'm going to build a GPT that's going to keep me accountable. Like what haven't I done that I have to do? And it will tell me. So I'm going to build that, right? So sometimes you're going to invest time that's going to help you to move things forward. So that was Life is Sweet. Let's see. Okay, the check. Oh, the ads. I did put that one as the button working. Okay, cross that one out. I also want to start a podcast about, like, because, why not? About building out the candy store and the candy store expansion. It's going to be really helpful for my investors to be able to follow along, but also to document the journey. And who knows who might be aware of the brand and want and buy into this idea of what we're doing here. You just never know. So I'm doing it. I might as well document it. So that is on there. And I think, yeah, the job to proposal and details. We're going to add that. Okay. So these are all the things. Now, in this block, I'm probably not going to get everything done tomorrow. This is for tomorrow. Okay. But we're going to say this and following. So it brings it forward so that the following week, if I didn't get through and I didn't cross it off, some of these are repeat. Some of them are things that just keep going, that are just one-offs. Like the proposal is going to be a one-off. So next week, if I've already done it and submitted it, I can remove it. But if I don't finish it, then next week, that's going to remind me, if that makes sense. Okay. So that's that part. So then the secondary, so again, from my thing, I have 2 big, so I've got Exitable, which is my Mount Everest, which is really helping small business owners to develop and implement exit plans and really make their businesses valuable and sellable and transferable. And, a lot of people don't know the difference between those things. So that's my big Everest. And so I am doing the candy store as kind of my case study as proof that anybody can build a business for exit, whether they're just exiting personally, so it's running without them, or sell it. And so I'm doing the candy store as a means to show that anybody can do it from scratch. And so I don't spend as much time on that business, but it's all kind of working together. And so I put some things in here that I, again, work on. So, right, my project, my podcast, my freebies, Check 2.0, that's my website that I did not do last week. Reach out to the chambers. I want to start building business relationships with other people. It's very easy to do business with people that know and like you. And so we're going to keep that. Fix this first, which is our podcast, which we did last week, and then the lead magnet. So those are all very generic. They go on every week, but that's kind of what's there already. But we're going to add some other things to this. So now that we've got all of that done, now I'm going to add in the other things on my list that I have not crossed off. Some of these they have to be done this week and they will get plotted. The others that are not emergencies, those are going to go into my tasks. So that way it's logged, it's here, and I can drag them out of tasks. First things first is we're going to plot what we have to do. Absolutely have to do. And no ifs, ands, or buts. Now I put some of this here already, like I'm finishing up my automation that does my content, right? That's a thing worth my time and energy that will continue to build content for me and post it for me. And so that I have to spend the time to get that done, because once I do that, I won't have to do it anymore. Same for Lovable. I'm building an inventory app, and this weekend Lovable's like free or whatever, so I'm playing with it. It just got me back into it. And then I built a connector bot that will not only take everybody I met from this week, for example, every meeting that I attended, track details, but put it into my CRM for connection. So in other words, I met Curtis this week in my pod call. So Curtis is new in Owners Club and his goals and what he's working on and what he needs. And it tracks that and tags him accordingly. And it kind of prompts me to reconnect with him, to follow up with him, and to build a relationship. Instead of it all being Tracy driven, I'm using technology to help me to develop these relationships. So that is this connector operating system. Let's see, this one is, I have a meeting. This was another person who offered to be my fractional COO. So we're going to walk through his proposal and what I'm missing and what I'm not missing. All right. So that is that piece. What else? So we got the tech analyst. So some of these are just going to be tasks because they're not emergencies. So we're going to create some tasks. So we're going to open up the tasks. Never mind. I'm going to do it over here. A little bit different. So your tasks are they just keep carrying, okay? So we're going to open it, and I'm just going to brain dump all the things that are not emergencies this week. I'm going to put them into this task list, okay? So we're going to, what happened to it? My task, add a task. Okay, so for example, I need to re-watch Talent Flipper. Now this I could do on flight, which I have 2 this next coming week, okay? And I can put a day. I'll just say by next week, I want to have done that, okay? So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to add another one, and then I'm going to cross it off my list. Where did it go? Gosh darn it. Oh, there it was at the top. Okay. So then I already did this one, the job details, and then I'm going to create a COO details, which is its own thing. And let's see if it will let me do the details. Okay. And we're just going to say that, and I have to build this. And you see how you can add? So I'm going to add a sub, and it's going to be, so for the COO, I'm going to lay out the project. Okay. I am enter. I'm going to um, add specific tasks. So, and responsibilities. So it's just to remind me, and I could do half of the thing, right? Let's see. It should let me do it. New list, enter. Oh, there we go. So I want to add a subtask. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Okay. So that one I'm crossing off my list. Okay. And then some of these is like I have a Weebie, which is a women's business application that I've been struggling with. So I'm going to add that one. I'm going to add the find me a new accountant because I'm not happy with the situation with mine. I spend a lot of money and now they're talking about like raising prices. So I'm not happy about it. And I know AI can do it way cheaper and easier. Okay. So I added that. All right. So that's it. What else do I have for her? 2-month plan or 90-day sprint. This is what specifics. Okay. So that is in there. Let's see. Some of this is we're going to do it together. Okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're going to do that. So we're out of this one. Now we're going to add a new task. And the reason, again, it's just to get it out of your brain. So I set up a course. 10x is easier course. And I have to do, yep, enter. And then we're going to add, these are some subtasks. So I need to do welcome video. I already have the homework. I already have the course layout. I already have the membership set up. I just forgot to do the video. So I have to do the welcome. I have to do week 1. I have to do week 2. I have to do week 3. I have to do week 4. And then I have to also schedule all the calls to discuss. So the homework and that, so there would be 4 of those. Okay. So, and I got to put all of that into the membership. So set up recurring Zoom and engage. We'll do that on a different one and engage. Okay. So this one, now what I like about tasks versus the calendar is the checks. Okay. You can do a lot of these things. And I could go in and just do the welcome video and come back and do the other videos. I could do, engage in membership. So I created a community in my high level, which I have a video about. And then I also create a course for that community. So every time we do a book, there'll be a new course that I build around it that I could give away as a freebie or to help people just stay on track. That's not me. I tend to have people in my life that are more independent because I'm independent, right? I am not going to drag you through life, right? So, but do you see how you can set up these? And then I could just do one. I could check one and then it goes away. See, I got to add it again. Darn it. I can undo it. There it is. Yay, we learned a thing. Okay, so that's that part. So that's the homework. And then I've also got to do my own homework for, because I'm 1 week ahead. So I'm trying to do it the week ahead. And the reason I'm doing it, so it's like, for me, it's reinforcement. I do it this week, right? I'm a week ahead. So then when I go back and they do their week, the rest of the people, and then we talk about it, it's like a double dose for me. So I love that for myself. That's 5 birds, 1 stone. Okay, so, and I'm doing the schedule for the week. So this one is actually going to go in here because this is due Monday. So it may be done today, it may be done tomorrow. I'm going to put it here just in case for homework for the AI Summit. And basically it's a 40-minute, so let's put some details. So this is 40-minute class to submit by Monday. I don't like to always wait and I don't want to record when people are here because you'll hear stuff. So I'll probably do that this morning or tomorrow morning before everything else. Okay. So that's the homework. And then basically it's the layout. I have to figure out exactly what I want to say. Keep it simple. When you're teaching a little class, you want to teach one thing. And then just tell stories around it so people remember it, that little thing, and then give them one thing to do. I'm going to give them a GPT, or actually, I'm going to give them a calculator. And it's really about what is your business worth and how are you planning to have a business that's more valuable. And it's really, my class is really about how I'm using automations to get myself out of my business and be able to not only exit it myself, but be able to sell it later. Again, it all ties into my Everest. Okay, so the layout of the talk, the gift, and record. Okay, so those are all things I have to do. It probably should take about an hour. This is stuff I talk about a lot. I also like to log it a different color. So this is exitable. So I'm going to save that. It's also money making, but this is exitable. So I'm just going to call it that. Where'd it go? Here it is. There you go. Okay, so now that is off of my list. Does that make sense? I hope for everybody. We did the videos. The plan for the 2 months was in the other one. One of the things that I like to weave in is my own thoughts. We get so busy with doing everything and we don't spend enough time thinking about what we want really. And not only what we want, but are we on track? Where are we? Are we distracted? Are we connecting with the people we love? Pace Morby calls it making magic, right? Like making sure there's time to go and collect magic. Spend time with your kids, spend time with your grandkids, just take a walk, go to the zoo, go to a museum, read a book. I don't spend enough downtime, and so I often get a little burnt out. That was very clear last night with my staff. And so, excuse me. So I'm going to put what do I want tonight because it's a Sunday night and it's about dreaming. It's about like really crystallizing and seeing what I want for my future. I could put details here like take a walk, okay? I can pray and I use this as my methodology of I pray and ask God like what he wants from me and then I kind of try to align with him on what my plans are. But then for me, I always just say, whatever, your will, not mine. But like, it's really important to bring your dreams to God because he does care about them. It's not just his will. He loves us. And so he wants us to talk to him about it, to share it with him, to invite him into helping us solve our problems. How often do we just, I got it. And then we don't ask for prayers or help. Like I'm having an eviction with one of my properties and it's just been such a pain in the neck. It's been 6 months of eviction. They're drug dealers. The mom is a convicted drug dealer. And so I'm not just making this up. And it's just been an ongoing slog. And I forget to ask for help. I forget to ask God to remove it. Instead, I just keep going through the worldly methodology, right? And those things are important too, but why not ask for help if you could, right? It's like if you have a carpenter, which I do, who's sitting on the couch and I'm trying to build a bookcase, right? Why am I not asking him for help? He's way more experienced. He could do it way easier, way better, and more secure. And he probably wants to help me. So that's kind of how I look about it, okay? But I want to just kind of get into alignment on the plans. If you go too long without doing this, you really find yourself off in the weeds and task-oriented instead of goal-oriented. So this is just kind of my I'm going to make that a non-negotiable for my calendar, okay? I'm going to save that. And so I added that, and again, that's now off my list. Okay, that's off my list, okay? Then now I'm going to put some little things in here. Like Monday is my day to get a lot done, but I'm going to leave that kind of open. I'm going to put it here. So at 9 a.m., I'm going to say, this is my Rock Hill, which is my rental. Okay. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to rip down the fence. They are doing naughty things behind the fence. They're also, I have a double lot. They're on my property. And so by removing the fence, I'm going to expose what they're doing from the street. So it will just shine, when you turn the lights on and all the bugs scatter, that's what we're going to do by ripping down the fence. So I got to call the city about it and make sure, and then also ask about property lines since it's a double lot. And then also, if I am going to rip down the fence, do I now need to get another permit or can I just repair? Right? So if I rip down the fence, but then I put up a fence on the secondary property, do I need a permit for that? So I just want to ask about that. And I want to talk about the subdivision and what can be built there. Again, this city is kind of a pain in the neck, but they do not return phone calls. So I'm going to have to be aggressive and schedule it and then make it repeat until I do it. So this is a money making activity because it's a investment property. It's also my sanity. So we're going to put that in there and that's off my list. Okay. I also, with the candy store, I have to, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm also going to follow up Mecklenburg. So I just signed a new property for the candy store and it's available now. So I need to get a move on. I'm going to travel for the next 2 weeks. So I need to get all the permits, signs, and the requirements from the county. Here's the thing about business. Every county is different. Okay. And actually I'm going to make this Life is Sweet permits and we're going to make it Mecklenburg because I also have another one coming the month after. Cabarrus. I don't know if I spelled that right, but I know what it is. Okay. And they are coming the month behind. So if I'm going to tackle permits with one, I might as well tackle permits with the other and be in the flow of that. So we're just going to hit save for that. And that is off my list. Also, I've been wanting to send a letter. There's some land in my hometown that we've been trying to get into the land business. And I had pulled some leads and I didn't do anything with them. This is very common, but this is money making. And so, if you're not putting money making activities on your calendar, you're missing out. Okay. It's just keeping you on track. The other parts about this, I'm going to put actually over because this is, while I'm traveling, I'm going to be in, let me put this as a create an event, which is different. And we're going to say, I'm going to be in Portland visiting my son. And I really don't want to I'll do some work. But the reality is that, I don't get to see him as much as I wish. Where's my end day? If there's a way to do it. It does daily until, more options. Let's see. There's a way to make it daily. There's usually a place to end. Where the heck is the end button? Dang it. Actually, there's a tab. Let's just make it custom, I guess. Okay, here we go. Repeat every day, ends on, and then on, let's see. Oh, that's July. We don't want July. There we go. On the 23rd. So I'll be in Portland, and I'm going to call this family. There we go. See? Okay. So I'm going to be there. No, I did this. We're all day. We're going to say all day. Beautiful. Okay. So that is going to be, yes. Okay. So this should, on my calendar, show. So you see how it's up here? All right. And then I'm also going to have a new event, and that's, I'm going to be in Monterey. Monterey OC trip. Okay. And that is from here. Let's see. We're going to make it custom. Gosh darn it. Custom. There we go. Okay. And we're going to make it repeat daily until it ends. No, not July. Okay. I leave on the 27th. Okay. So we're going to hit done. Done. And we're going to make it all day. And that oh, it's not. What the heck? It's this day. Beautiful. What on earth am I doing? Good gravy. We're just going to cancel this. We're just going to save it and then I'll edit it. I don't know what it's doing. Okay. So this one, there's Monterey. So we're going to edit this one. All right. So we're going to start here. It's not there. It's here. There we go. and we're going until custom, and it's not June. I don't think it's the 28th. It's the 27th. Okay, we're going to get done. Boop. Okay, and it's all day. So got it. There we go. So now I'm in Monterey the following week. Do you see how it added that? Right here. And that is, I'm going to call that, I like to make it different colors. So I am going to make that money making because this is about connecting. So we're going to do that. Okay. So one is Portland. The other one is, this was, no, we're going to edit that one because it does not end. This one we're going to custom. We're going to change that because it goes until the 20th. Beautiful. This and polygons. Okay. Sure. All right. So now we're good. So we've got, I don't know why this is doing something so weird. Nope, that's wrong. I don't know what is happening. Portland, Portland. Okay. I don't know why it's doing something weird. But anyway, you can just go in and edit and fight with it a little bit. So we're going to start this. We're going to make it on the 23rd. Okay. We're going to save that. Yep. There we go. All right. Now we're back. See, now I got double. This one. We're going to get rid of this one. That's extra. There we go. Now we've got it. Beautiful. Okay. And then when I come back, I have one day in Charlotte, and then I go to New Hampshire. I go to New Hampshire here. So anyway, long story short, okay. So I guess you get the idea. Okay, finally, after I get everything logged in here, whether it's in my tasks here in the right or on the calendar, okay, then finally I do, if I'm going to be in town and I'm going to be in this office, I do one other thing. So let me stop sharing this part. Back here. Okay, there you go. All right, picture close. Okay. So hopefully that worked. So then the final thing that I do is it involves these. Okay. So I pick the things from my day that are a lot. I definitely am a visual person and I like a check mark. So often I make myself a printout of my day of what's going to happen that day. But I also love to take these and throw them away. So let me show you up here. I haven't done it today. Do you see that? Okay, so I have all these. So basically, the way that I've done this is I have things I have to do, whether they're today or not, I've got to get them done. That's the first column. Second column is someday soon. These are things I want to do, but that are soon. And then the next one is someday. Someday I want to do these. These are my dreams, plans, little things like, oh, I want to go to the rock garden. I want to go to the botanical gardens. I want to take my grandson bowling. Whatever it is, again, out of my brain, onto a wall to keep me on track. And then we also have delegate. So if I have stuff that I have to teach people or that I want to get off my plate permanently, that it will be in the delegate one, and then I'll move it down and then eliminate. Eliminate is stuff you need to get rid of. So like, let's just say one of the things that I'm going to do for eliminate is to go through my subscriptions. I'm going to write it down. Okay. I don't know about you, but I've got a lot of them. So I've got my subscriptions and I'm going to put that up under my eliminate column. Okay. That's also going to go on my calendar. Okay. And so basically what I'll do is when I put it in the calendar, I'll bring it down and I've got this today list. The today list is everything I plan to do today. And so if it's up there, I look and I pull it down. And that way too, if I wind up with an extra half hour, which doesn't always happen, but if I wind up with an extra half hour, I can go up and be like, oh gosh, let's look at that. Boom, and I can pull it down. So like one of the things up there is my Rock Hill subdivision, which I put on my calendar. So on that day, I'm going to pull those tags down, put them here. And when I call and I find out, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to rip it and I'm going to throw it. Let me see if I can show you in my waste basket. You see all those? It's very satisfying. So that is the final piece. And then it's just working the plan, right? You design this plan, you make all these little notes. I do a thing where I every day journal in the morning and journal at night. And it's not just what did I do today, but it's a little bit of celebrating what I did do. It's a little bit of like setting up the day and how I want it to be. And it's also just a track of things I've thought of, things I was considering, things I'm worried about. Just to, again, get it out of my brain and onto paper so it's not lost. You know how much time we spend thinking to ourselves and then we forget anyway. This whole series is really my effort and plan to be able to get things out of my brain onto paper. And I hope that helps. I hope that helps you. I figured I would share how I do it. I know this was kind of a long video, but hopefully watching me go through the process helps you. I was already doing it, so I killed a couple birds with one stone there. And now I just have a few more things, a few more like little things that I have that are someday kind of things that I can get into the task list, get onto my wall, and pull them down when I'm ready. All right. Hope that helps. Put in the comments if you want. I can send you a GPT that will help you to prioritize and brain dump. So sometimes when I'm driving, I will bring up this GPT, dump it in there, and then it will prioritize and systematize, and it will remind me. So some days when I go back and say, what was I supposed to do yesterday? And it'll give me the list. So again, any tool is great as long as you actually use it. I mean, what's the good of having a chainsaw if you never turn it on, right? So try some tools, try some methodology, and I hope this helps. Bye.